Barbara Streisand. Barbara Streisand.
So this is the first video I have recorded for my on-campus classes since we've changed to online classes, even though the class has been up and running for a little while. But I wanted to go over the class since it wasn't an online class, and I know that things can get a little confusing. Hope everyone is quarantined and healthy. You're looking at my desktop right now, which you'll get used to after a while, since I'm homebound. I look like something Hemingway shot. Also, I record these videos on my back deck so you can hear the neighbors and the birds and my dogs and various other things. So that's something else to get used to that I might want to give you a warning on now. So this video is really, really important. Watch all of it. It goes over some of the major things that we're going to go over. So the first thing that I'm going to do is just open the class, okay? And so this is the view you have when you get to this. Now this is all of the plasticky tech crap that they make us put in, and this may look a little different, Ali, because I may put this video at the top here when I'm finished making it. Who knows? It certainly will be in other places. We got faculty information, blah, 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 blah. None of this is really important. Turn in your essay, this is where you turn in essay 1. This is the big thing. Important course content. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click there. And this is where you will always go. Again, it will not always look like this. Things may move around, but the top part should. Okay, first, you've got a thing with notes, videos, etc. Then reading responses. I'm going to go back to those. Down below is this is your readings for the rest of the semester, and so a lot of these were required from your textbook. Some of them were ones that I was going to supply you with later, and so I just made a packet of all of those and put it together for you using issue, so that you could have that, even the ones that are in your textbook, because who knows where your textbooks may be. Let me take you through this, and again, you can do full screen, you can zoom in on any of this, so it's going to be small here, but we'll go through. You've got your table of contents, and again, 90% of this came from stuff from the textbook. A quick little look at what each of the authors will be covering for the rest of the semester looks like. So this is it for the rest of the semester. You'll go through each week. I'll tell you, announce what you need to do that week, what you need to read. So again, we start with this Wisława Szymborska poems. There are 2 here, and then The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Okay, so that's at the sort of at the top here, but that will stay where it is. Everything else will be added to folders, either above or below this. Now below that are various versions of the poems. Sometimes I think it's best to hear the poem, as I light my first cigarette of my first video. The poems are here. They're read. A lot of times I've read them when I couldn't find copies. In other cases, where someone better, like James Earl Jones, reading The Raven, they're here. Sometimes it's by the author or by the poet. Then there's a couple of cases near the end where we do some music again, or some other things that could be performed live, and those will exist. There's one piece I haven't added, which is, I think, one of the very last pieces. I know one of the very last pieces we do. I think we do it right in here between Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening and Mississippi Goddamn. I've also done, now this would be the original recording, in both of these cases, and then I did a live version, which would be different, just so you can get an idea. Those aren't necessary, and you don't even have to listen to these, as long as you've read them. Sometimes, people like to hear the poem. Sometimes they would rather just read it. A perfect example is Gwendolyn Brooks's We Real Cool. I do not care for her reading of it or any other reading I've heard. I'd really just rather read the poem myself. So that's really up to you. Now, let's go to reading responses first. So every week I'll tell you what you need to have covered. It's windy out here, so you're probably getting some weird microphone noises. reading responses. I'll tell you, which poems to read. We only have one play, and I'll post other information about essays being due and announcements and everything else. But reading responses, what you're going to do, go through this, and of course it'll add to it. These have replaced quizzes. So far, I pretty much just gave everybody 25 points. That's half of the total 50 for uh, the quiz total for the semester. What I'm going to do is for each of these, I'm going to give you a single point, as I noted earlier, with the except for each poem, and then of course the play is worth more, and that's going to be 7, and that adds up to 25. So that plus the first half of the semester with quizzes will make that total 50, and that'll all work out. Here's the key with these reading responses: do not overthink them. Okay, the whole point is just to make sure you read it. It's not a correct thing. People have already been calling me, is 100 words enough? 3 words are enough, okay? A moment in Troy. Here we go. So your first reading response, after you read a moment in Troy, what do you think Zimborska means when she writes, they all know that lips mold the speech's meaning? Again, that's your thoughts on that. Or what do you think the significance of 4 a.m. is? Why did she choose that? Or finally with the Raven, how would you describe the tone? Okay, I mean, for that you could just put dark and melancholy, period, and that would be fine. I'm not looking for long reading responses. So let's look at how you do those, because this can get a little weird. Okay, you're going to click on the number there, so reading response 1, and then just create blog entry. And you're going to just give it a title and and then enter your answer. And, when you're done, you're just going to click post, and it will post it. Okay, and you can go see. So remember, other people can see yours. They can comment on them. I can comment on them. And so we've already have some posted, and this may not be your class, but the point is, again, you can look at other people's, be nice. I can't be here 24/7 making sure nobody's saying anything offensive. So there are, rules about that. You can read the syllabus, but otherwise, you get my point. Okay, so that's really easy. Let's go back. Important course content. The real area you're going to spend time in, and we only have a few things here so far, and because it's an online class, things are a little weird and different. It's not like a regular class where you come in having read the poem, I discuss it. I'll give you a little time with that, a time to do your reading response, and then I'll post my notes. So I generally post my notes Tuesday or Wednesday of the week after something has been read. Okay, and my notes may be 5 minutes, they may be an hour, who knows? But you need to watch those. Okay, so I went under. If you notice, I'll go back. I'm clicking on notes, videos, etc. Now I have not posted any notes yet over the 2 poems by Zimborska, or my personal notes, or any on the Raven. But there's also some additional information in here that I'll add for these poems. There's things I probably would have mentioned in class. Watch these. Okay, you could be responsible for them on the final, with the exception of little things like the Raven is depicted by The Simpsons. This is just a really cool YouTube video that does the Raven and kind of does a pretty good job. It stays relatively true to the text and acts it out, so you can actually visualize it a lot better. So that's sort of just a fun thing, and I may add fun thing in parentheses to some of these. But other than that, you really do need to know. Again, this biography is, I think, less than 5 minutes. I'm not going to put a 2-hour biography on here unless I put something like fun thing, meaning you don't have to necessarily watch it. But again, this Polish poet, this is a news thing from when Wisława Szymborska died, and there just wasn't a really good biography on her, and you got more information from the eulogy than you did from the actual from anything that I could find online. Most of it was in Polish. So this is in English, and you can watch that, and it'll give you some information on her. Okay, again, this will grow. It'll include notes from me and some other stuff. So this area, check out. And I'll try to kind of keep it. I usually put the last thing that we've done at the top rather than at the bottom. So that could get a little weird for you. But so be sure you scroll through, though, and make sure you've watched all of these. And what else do you have to do with your time, right? Okay, so the other important thing, I'm just going to shut out of Firefox. The last thing that I just do want to note is call me. Again, I'm not going to say my phone number here because it's posted on YouTube, but you've got it in the syllabus. And of course, syllabus that's on here, it's in various other places. You can trust me. If you look for it, you can find it. If you can't, I send it through remind.com. So, you should be able to find that. If you can't, let me know in a reading response or something, and we'll know that. Okay. Other than that, though, everything's going to be done through this class. No emails on pretty much anything. Okay. Don't send me stuff that way. Again, text me if you have any questions or anything. You're not going to bother me. I'm bored, insane. So there we go. Have any questions? Let me know, and I will talk to you in a video.
Barbara Streisand. Barbara Streisand. Barbara Streisand.